people want to know how they're going to file their federal tax return for this year. If they have a civil union, what does that mean? If they are married in another state legally that recognizes it and they're back in Hawaii and it's being recognized as a civil union, what does that mean for their tax return? And then sequentially from that, what happens if they make a gift to their partner. The Windsor case, which was decided by the Supreme Court, this woman obviously had to pay $386,000 in estate tax to the federal government that she would not have owed had her spouse been a man. The thrust of my conversation was about the impact of taxes primarily and the overturning of DOMA and what it means for tax purposes. And I covered three main areas, which is income tax, estate tax, and gift tax. As a result of DOMA being overturned, people who live in recognition states where same-sex marriages are permitted, so now 13 states in D.C., they will clearly get all the benefits that heterosexual couples have had all along, which is spouses are exempt from estate tax for the surviving spouse. Spouses can make unlimited gifts between each other, and they can file a joint tax return and avail themselves of a myriad of benefits on their tax return. Unfortunately for Hawaii, where we only have civil unions and therefore they are not marriage under federal tax law, that even with DOMA being overturned, our citizens will not be able to avail themselves on a federal tax return of those benefits. And Hawaii doesn't have a gift tax return. Hawaii doesn't have an estate tax return and over $5.25 million, and we also give an exemption for civil union partners. There's a bunch of other areas, 1,000 rights and benefits on the federal level. And unfortunately, the answer for most of those rights and benefits will be wait and see what the federal government determines. There are certain areas where they've already said military spouses will get access to bases by Department of Defense regulation. They've already said that immigration, that same-sex spouses can get immigration privileges, but the other rights are wait and see. And in many instances, where federal law controls and it says the definition of marriage is dependent upon state law, then there may not be those rights. For us in Hawaii, the main input that we need to do at this point is get marriage for our citizens as soon as possible, and then we will clearly get all the federal rights and benefits unquestionably the same way the other 13 states and DC get.